welcome to my worst in beauty of 2016, disappointing products, products I regret buying. I will link to my best in beauty down below. Either way, these are things that I've come across this year that I've either chatted with you about and I want to remind you how much I hate them, or things that I've come across recently that I want to let you know that just didn't work out for me. If you love them, more for you, perfect. Let's go ahead and get started. The first product I want to touch on, no shock here, I'm gonna stop ragging on this and just get rid of it, but I can't for some reason. It is the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit. It is thick, it does not blend, it looks muddy, the shades are too warm. I don't understand how people make this work. I know you can add drops of oil to it, but first of all, that's a hassle. I have oily skin, so I don't want to add oil on top of my foundation, and I feel like that will disintegrate the product over time. People seem to make it work really well on Instagram. For me, every time I've ever reached for this, it's been an absolute mess, but I have dreams of doing this Instagram video where I'm like contouring my face, and I can't seem to get rid of it, but it's not good. From Rimmel, this is another contour palette. It is their sculpting palette in the deepest shade, swatches beautifully. It looks like it has good shades. The contour is actually deep enough, cool enough, but for some reason when you go to put this on a brush, it just does not perform. It shows up really well on your fingers, but then even when you go to kind of like swatch it on your skin, not much shows up. I prefer the Maybelline one over this one. The Maybelline highlighter is actually gorgeous. This one looks like it could be a dupe for the Mary Luminizer from the Balm, but it is just, the texture is just not there. It's the kind of texture that when you rub your finger over at first it feels smooth, and then as you keep rubbing it like kind of gets those little bumpily bits in it, and it's not good. Super affordable, seems promising, but just didn't work out for me. I also have a cold, by the way, so if I sound super stuffed up or nasally, that's what's going on. I'm waiting to take my nighttime medication after I stop filming. But this highlighter from Colourpop, I definitely regret purchasing. They look so pretty on the website when they're swatched, so pretty, but I can't apply it to my face in a way that I like. This is from the Karrueche collection, probably messing that up. It's in the shade Glow Up. It is gorgeous if you have a deeper skin. I've tried it with my finger, small stipple brush, eyeshadow brushes, and I just don't like it in any way that I apply it. Better as an eyeshadow. Everything that I purchase from Colourpop now in the way of powder is going to be a lid shade that I put on with my finger, because for me, I just don't like blending them with brushes. On the lid, gorgeous, but on my face and all that kind of stuff, I don't love it. So for me now, like moving forward from Colourpop, I'm most likely going to be purchasing lid shades and their lip products, because their lip products I love. From Pixi, this is their Glow Getter Beauty Book Radiant Light. This I think is supposed to be similar to an Hourglass ambient lighting palette. For me, that's just not really my jam. The shades in here are too light for me to even attempt to set under my eyes, and then when I go to put it on as a highlight, it just doesn't give me enough impact. It's not even that it gives a soft glow. It looks chalky, doesn't have enough reflection in there for it to really do anything on my skin. If you have quite fair skin and you're looking for something neutral, this could work for you, but for me it just doesn't really work on any level. I've got a lot of highlighters in here, I'm realizing. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. This is in Catwalk Pink. I don't love this for two reasons. First of all, I just don't love the shade. It's a little bit too pink and too pale for me. Definitely not what I go for in the way of highlights. That being said, even with the color shade not being that great, the formula just isn't there. Wet n Wild makes amazing eyeshadows, and they had that gold bar highlight that come out. They have the floral highlighters that are now permanent. If you've seen them in Canada, let me know, because I'm trying to find them. But this, I just don't feel like the formula is there. It's not soft enough. Again, it doesn't have that amount of reflection that you would like. When you swirl it all together and swatch it on your hand, it's just a little bit too powdery and not smooth enough. I know some people really like this, but for me, it just didn't do it. This will probably come as no shock to you. From e.l.f., I have their Mattifying HD Balm and their HD Mattifying Cream Foundation. Lies. This is not HD. It is not mattifying. They are horrible. I purposefully reviewed this on a day where I knew I wasn't going to have to leave my house because I knew it was going to be a nightmare. It wasn't a first impression. The mattifying balm is chunky, feels so greasy on your skin and horrible. You could never use it to blot. It would just wipe away foundation. It's one of those balms that you could like put under makeup, put over makeup. No, never buy it. Same thing for the HD Cream Mattifying Foundation. A lot of the time, if something doesn't work out for me in my oily skin diary series where I'm reviewing foundations, I'll be like, oh, it could work for normal skin, combo skin, dry skin. No, no, no. I don't see how this could work for anybody. It feels itchy, it feels greasy, it patches away. On initial application, it was nice, but within like 20 minutes, I was like, oh, like I wanted to get it off my skin. It felt so bad. If you are looking for something full coverage from e.l.f., I did like the acne fighting foundation. I felt like I got oily with that, but it had nice coverage and a better finish. This stuff is just like, it's gross. Another foundation that did not work for me that was super disappointing is the Kat Von D Lock It foundation. This is the powder foundation. I love the liquid and it is really nice on oily skin, great beautiful coverage. I don't find it gets too cakey on my skin as long as you go in with light layers. And I love powder foundation and I love Kat Von D, so I was like, this is gonna be beautiful. First of all, the shade was horrible. I got medium 62, which is what I wear in the liquid. I bought this at IMAX, so I wasn't able to return it. I'm stuck with this and it's just so incredibly orange, oxidizes, goes on patchy. It's not smooth, it doesn't have the buildable full coverage that it said it had, and it did not last on my oily skin. Super disappointing, very surprising. Like I just didn't expect that from Kat Von D because her face product and most of her products are so beautiful and smooth. Her contour kit is one of my favorites. Her eyeliner, like she makes such great stuff, and this was just such a big time dud for me. Also from Kat Von D, actually another dud was the color correcting eyeshadow primer. I feel like a lot of people had similar issues with this. I can't even really say what it did for wear time because I never really got to truly use it. Every time I would go to put it on my eyes, it was just so dry that it was like I just wanted to take it off, or I'd put another eyeshadow primer on top of it. It could do a good job lasting and helping your eyeshadows stay in place if you have oily eyelids, but for me it was like, no, I don't like it. You couldn't even get like an even coat for it to color correct. It was a good match for my skin tone, but it was just like putting an actual crayon on your eyelids, so it was again another pass for me. Speaking of dry pencils, holy guacamole, these freaking suck. They are the Tarteist lip crayons. I got them in the Kiss Bliss holiday set. Loved the lipsticks that came in there. They're matte on application, not super transfer proof, but that makes them a little bit more moisturizing. These are so dry. I had a lot of people say that is just the formula. I thought maybe it's just the holiday kit, but they cracked off. You could not use them. They made your lips look like so dry, and they just were no good. Like Colourpop, NYX, Essence all make fabulous, creamy, still matte lip liners, and these are just no, 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 no. Another foundation that I want to mention is something you would have seen in my 12 Days of Foundation series, which I will link to down below. This is from Sephora. It is their Matte Perfection Powder Foundation. Very similar to the Kat Von D. I did not find it buildable. It was patchy. I initially bought the shade 54, moved down to a 48, and it was like this looks like a good color match, and then it just comes out so orange. It was so patchy, it wore off, I got oily. I did not find it matte. It was not beautiful and seamless or buildable. Super disappointing. I had someone in the comment section say that they were an NC42 like me and they were wearing a 30. But that being said, I was like, maybe I'll go return it and try to get another one, but just the formula on it didn't do anything for me. It's $25, which makes it seem very cheap, but it has 7.5 grams of product in there. In the MAC Studio Fix, which is one of my favorites, you get 15, which is double the price, and it is, no, sorry, double the product, but not double the price. So I would definitely go to MAC over this one. It was just such a dud. I don't know if I can really call this a worst in beauty of 2016 because I'm not even sure if it's out at the drugstore yet. I'm pretty sure it's available on Amazon.com. They are the Almay brow pencils. They come in 2 different shades, as you would have seen in my What's New at the Drugstore video. The shades are just so off. The blonde is like really dark, but not dark enough to be brunette, and then the brunette is just like straight up black. On top of that, the formula is just far too creamy. I like my brow pencils to be a little bit waxier, gives you more control, it stays in place better, and these just did not do it for me. If the shade range was better, I could maybe get on board, but with the shade range being so off, like if you watched my MAC Studio Fix video for the 12 Days of Foundation, I mentioned that I was having a bad brow day and had to actually remove my brows and start over again. It was because of this guy, and that rarely happens for me. Like, I like my brows, I have very little to do to them, and when something truly screws them up, like, that's not good. So whether you have seen these in the drugstore or not, I would avoid them. I've got two mascaras that really did not do it for me this year. One is very affordable, the other one is like a holy grail for a lot of people. The affordable one is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Mascara. As you would have seen in the e.l.f. foundation review, the one that I mentioned earlier that I hated, I used this as well. I did like a full face e.l.f. This just does nothing. It was brand new. I had never used it before. It was like I had basically put nothing on my lashes. And then there's this guy. I feel like 75% of the world is obsessed with this, maybe more. Doesn't do anything for me. I held off on buying this for however long it's been out for because everybody loved it so much, and I was like, Samantha, don't buy it. Don't give in to high-end mascaras. You're gonna love it, and then you're gonna need to keep repurchasing it. And then I got this at Gen Beauty, and I was so excited to crack it open and try. Very similar to the e.l.f. mascara in the sense that it doesn't do much for my lashes. I never wear false lashes. First of all, I can't put them on, and second of all, I love my lashes. They're full, they're voluminous, they're curly, so mascaras have very little to do, and when it can't even do enough to like lift up my mascara, my lashes, I'm like, how? But mascaras are so personal because there's other things that people rave about and they'll work for me, but like I feel like mascaras, depending on the shape of your eyes, the length of your lashes, the fullness, do they curl, do they not hold a curl, does your mascara flake, all those kind of things, like it can be very personal. So if it works for you, awesome. For me, it just did not do it. I'm kind of glad, honestly, because that means I don't need to repurchase it, and yeah, just super disappointing. It did not live up to the hype for me. So that is everything that let me down throughout the year of 2016. I hope that wasn't too much of a bummer, but I always find it interesting to hear what doesn't work for people and why. A reason that I don't like something may be a reason that you like something. It's all a very personal choice, and of course if you love something in here, that's totally okay. It is just my opinion, and if you have similar preferences to me, this may help you save a few dollars. Be sure to check out my Best in Beauty down below. It is much more of a positive experience. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!